Have you ever wondered why, despite having everything you need, peace and contentment still seem out of reach? Why do we continue to experience stress, dissatisfaction, and emotional turbulence, even when we try to improve our circumstances? According to Buddhism, the answer lies not in accumulating more, but in letting go of what weighs us down. Buddhist teachings offer profound insights into the nature of suffering and how we can release the sources of discomfort in our lives. Rather than focusing on external gains, Buddhism emphasizes the importance of eliminating attachments, desires, and negative influences that block our path to inner peace. Quietly removing certain things from our lives allows us to experience freedom, joy, and clarity of mind. In this video, we will explore 10 specific things that you should quietly eliminate from your life based on Buddhist principles. These elements, ranging from toxic relationships to the fear of failure, are often the hidden barriers preventing us from living a more peaceful, fulfilled existence. By letting go of them, we can open the door to a life of mindfulness, compassion, and lasting tranquility. 1. Eliminate attachment to material possessions. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is the idea that attachment to material possessions leads to suffering. This teaching is embodied in the Four Noble Truths, particularly the concept that desire or attachment is the root of suffering. When we become attached to material objects, we form an emotional bond that can cause pain when those objects are lost, broken, or taken away. In our consumer-driven society, we are often led to believe that happiness can be purchased. However, Buddhism teaches that true contentment comes from within, not from external possessions. To eliminate this attachment, begin by reflecting on how much time and energy you invest in acquiring, maintaining, and worrying about material goods. Letting go of unnecessary possessions and decluttering your life can create space for more meaningful experiences. Practice gratitude for what you already have, and focus on nurturing relationships and personal growth instead of accumulating more objects. 2. Let go of negative thoughts and judgments. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of mindfulness, which involves being aware of one's thoughts without judgment. Negative thinking patterns can dominate the mind, leading to stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. Judging yourself and others harshly not only drains your emotional energy, but also distances you from compassion and understanding. To quietly eliminate negative thoughts and judgments, practice mindfulness meditation. This technique allows you to observe your thoughts as they arise, without getting attached to them. By recognizing that thoughts are temporary and often not reflective of reality, you can learn to let them pass without giving them power over your emotions. Cultivating loving kindness, metta meditation, can also help you replace negative thoughts with compassion and empathy for yourself and others. 3. Release the desire for control. The desire to control every aspect of life can create immense stress and dissatisfaction. In Buddhist philosophy, the idea of impermanence, anicca, reminds us that everything is in constant flux, and trying to control the uncontrollable leads to suffering. Life is unpredictable, and attempting to hold tightly to outcomes often results in disappointment and frustration. To eliminate the desire for control, practice acceptance and let go of the need to force events to unfold in a specific way. Trust the process of life, understanding that not everything will go according to plan, and that's okay. By embracing uncertainty and flowing with the natural rhythm of life, you can reduce stress and open yourself to new possibilities. Letting go of control doesn't mean passivity, but rather a mindful acceptance of life's ebb and flow. 4. Eliminate toxic relationships. Buddhism teaches that the company we keep plays a significant role in our spiritual growth. Toxic relationships, whether they involve friends, family, or romantic partners, can hinder our path to inner peace by draining our emotional energy and perpetuating negative cycles of behavior. A toxic relationship is one that is characterized by manipulation, lack of respect, emotional abuse, or constant conflict. Quietly distancing yourself from toxic individuals allows you to prioritize your well-being and make room for more positive, supportive relationships. This can be done with compassion, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey and that cutting ties doesn't have to involve conflict. Letting go of toxic relationships can help you cultivate a more peaceful environment and develop deeper connections with those who uplift and inspire you. 5. Let go of resentment and anger. Holding on to resentment and anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Buddhism teaches that these emotions are destructive, both to ourselves and to those around us. They cloud the mind, disturb our inner peace, and prevent us from experiencing joy and compassion. The practice of forgiveness is central to releasing these harmful emotions. To let go of resentment and anger, engage in forgiveness, not just for others, but also for yourself. Understand that holding on to anger harms you more than it does the person or situation you're angry at. Buddhist teachings encourage us to recognize that everyone is on their own path and that mistakes are a part of the human experience. Through mindfulness and loving-kindness meditation, you can cultivate a compassionate heart that forgives and releases past grievances. 6. Eliminate fear of failure. In Buddhism, failure is seen as part of the natural cycle of learning and growth. However, many of us fear failure so deeply that we avoid taking risks, trying new things, or stepping out of our comfort zones. This fear can paralyze us, preventing us from living fully and authentically. The Buddhist concept of non-attachment, upekkha, encourages us to let go of outcomes, including the fear of failure, and focus on the present moment. To eliminate the fear of failure, shift your perspective and view failure as an opportunity for growth rather than as a setback. Embrace challenges with an open mind and heart, knowing that failure is a natural part of life's journey. When you release the fear of failure, you'll find that you are more willing to take risks, learn from mistakes, and grow spiritually and emotionally. 7. Release excessive desires and cravings. The second noble truth in Buddhism identifies craving, tanha, as the source of suffering. When we crave things, whether it be material wealth, status, or experiences, we create dissatisfaction because we are focused on what we lack rather than appreciating what we have. Craving is an endless cycle, where obtaining one desire only leads to the next, never bringing true fulfillment. To release excessive desires, practice contentment and mindfulness. Recognize that chasing after desires often leads to fleeting happiness, while contentment brings lasting peace. Gratitude for the present moment can help you shift your focus from what you want to what you already have. The practice of minimalism and simplifying your life can also reduce cravings and lead to a more balanced, peaceful existence. 8. Eliminate the ego's need for validation. The ego constantly seeks validation from external sources, whether through praise, recognition, or approval from others. In Buddhism, this attachment to the ego and the need for validation is seen as a source of suffering. The ego's desires are insatiable, and when we rely on external validation to feel worthy, we remain in a state of constant dissatisfaction. To eliminate the ego's need for validation, practice humility and self-compassion. Recognize that your worth is intrinsic and does not depend on the opinions of others. Mindfulness meditation can help you observe the ego's desires without getting attached to them. By cultivating inner confidence and self-love, you can free yourself from the need for external validation and find peace within. 9. Let go of the past. Buddhism teaches the importance of living in the present moment, yet many of us are trapped in the past. Whether we are reliving past mistakes, holding on to regrets, or dwelling on what could have been, this attachment to the past prevents us from fully experiencing the present. The practice of mindfulness encourages us to let go of the past and focus on the here and now. To let go of the past, practice mindfulness and meditation to bring your awareness to the present moment. Recognize that the past is unchangeable and that holding on to it only creates suffering. Instead, focus on what you can control, your actions and thoughts in the present moment. By releasing the past, you open yourself to new experiences and a brighter future. 10. Eliminate the fear of death. In Buddhism, death is viewed as a natural part of the cycle of life, not something to be feared. The fear of death can cause immense suffering, leading us to cling to life in ways that prevent us from fully living. Accepting the impermanence of all things, including life itself, can help us overcome this fear and live more mindfully and authentically. To eliminate the fear of death, practice contemplation of impermanence, anicca. Reflect on the transient nature of all things, including your own life, and embrace the beauty of this impermanence. By accepting death as a natural part of existence, you can let go of fear and live with greater peace and purpose. The teachings of Buddhism offer a path to inner peace and liberation through the process of letting go. By quietly eliminating the attachments, desires, and negative emotions that weigh us down, we can create space for spiritual growth, compassion, and mindfulness. The 10 things we should eliminate: attachment to material possessions, negative thoughts, the desire for control, toxic relationships, resentment, fear of failure, excessive desires, the ego's need for validation, the past, and the fear of death are all obstacles to living a peaceful and fulfilling life. Each of these elements represents a different form of attachment, whether to physical objects, emotional states, or external validation. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness, we can gradually release these attachments and move closer to inner freedom. Buddhism teaches that true liberation comes not from adding more to our lives, but from letting go of what no longer serves us. Through this process of elimination, we can experience greater clarity, contentment, and joy in the present moment. Letting go is not always easy, but it is a powerful step toward inner peace and enlightenment. By quieting the mind, releasing attachments, and embracing the impermanence of life, we can cultivate a life of mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. One free from the suffering caused by clinging to things that are beyond our control. The journey to a peaceful, harmonious existence begins with the quiet elimination of the things that no longer serve our higher purpose.